Hey guys, what's going on? This is Castro here at My Stocks and Options. So we're just going to go over a few stocks, the ones that we actually looked at to pick for this upcoming week for our trades from the small account to a large account. That's our whole challenge for the next 60 days. So we saw a few stocks, right? So we're going to meet Tuesdays. You guys tracking. You have the link. If you don't have the link, just ask in the community or ask in the Facebook Messenger, and we will provide that for you. But what I like to do first, whenever I actually do this, I like to look at the broader market. And what does that mean, right? I like to look at the futures, the indexes. I like to look at the S&P 500, the Nasdaq 100, the Russell 2000, and also the Dow Jones, right? But here, for this purposes, we're going to look at each one of the tickers for those respective composite averages, right? So let's first start off with SPY, the S&P 500, right? So for this one in particular, if I may, okay. So I have all four of them here, so I'm going to break them down. So what I'm seeing for this one in particular is this, right? Let me cut this off. Boom. So if you guys can see here, right? We see the stochastic is actually pointing downward, right? So that tells me that, there's some downward movement that we should see in the upcoming week for this one in particular. Chart is this? This doesn't look like it's the hourly chart. Yeah, I gotta make sure each and every one of these. So on the day chart, okay. Okay. Get to it. So for this one in particular, right? We talked about a few things whenever we're looking at a stock, right? So we know that this has stacked DMAs. We know all that. If you haven't looked at the previous video or you didn't go to the class, I urge you to make sure that you look at the video so you understand what I'm talking about here. So again, the goal is to spend about a minute, right? 1 minute per ETF. And then I'm just going to tell you guys what I think it's going to do based on technical analysis and what I'm seeing in the charts, right? So if we look at the stochastics here, we saw that it quickly, boom, right? It quickly forked right here, right? So this means that this ETF, the S&P 500, should be coming higher, right? Trading higher, price action higher on Tuesday when the market opens. If it was continuously going lower, right, you would see that this is what's going lower. But we see this little torque here, boom, right? A pull, a pop. So we should see easily the S&P 500 retesting the mean, right, which is $468.31. We saw that it closed here in a bullish candle, right? You also see it here at the volume green, right? So closing here in this green candle, it tells us that the buyers are in control of the market, the sellers are no longer in control. And this here is a pivot for the upside. So boom, right? Also, that's a buy signal. So 1 minute on that. Right, now we're going to move on to the QQQ, right? This is the Nasdaq 100. And this is the weaker of the three, right? And I say the weaker because we've been seeing a huge sell-off on this one in particular. But same thing with the Qs, right? Pivot right here, boom, right? Upside, right? So the Qs, the Nasdaq 100, the QQQ should be testing $388. So Monday, well, so Tuesday, should I say, since the market opens. Tuesday, we're going to see a quick little pop. Tuesday, Wednesday, right? But we still see the mean still coming down. So expect to hit close to between 385, 383, 385, right? Buy signal here. So Tuesday should be a really good day for this one to go higher. All right, 1 minute has passed. Let's go to this one here. Let's go to which one is this one? This was supposed to be this is Dow Jones. Okay. Great. So this is the Dow Jones, right? Dow Jones Industrials. And the Dow Jones is a little bit tricky, right? Because even though even though we see more downside for the Dow Jones on the stochastics, this here is a hammer candlestick, right? Um, so this is an indication for a reversal. So again, same thing, right? I'm seeing that the Dow Jones is going to test 360, right, on Tuesday, Wednesday, right? And then coming down at the end of the week, right? Done with that one. So let's look at the Russell 2000 IWM. For this one in particular, it's very tricky because since in the November timeframe, we've seen the mean just go lower and lower and lower, right? And we see price action just going lower and lower for the Dow Jones. So this one has had a lot of weakness, right? But it closed again in a really bullish candle here. We're gonna see it test 216, right? Roughly 216 to 217. I don't think it's either gonna reach 218, to be honest with you. I think it's gonna test that 216 to 217 area, and then it's gonna come down. I'm actually gonna be buying puts on this one all the way to March because is the weakest out of all the three charts. If we look at the monthly chart on this one in particular, right? Notice a little bit over 4 minutes. But if we look at the monthly chart for this one in particular, for the Russell 2000, huge bearish candle here, right? And each one of these represents a month. So with quad witching, I really see the Russell 2000 hitting $201 in the next 2 months or so. Right, we're seeing huge volume of selling here, selling pressure. So I'll be buying puts for this one all the way to quad witching, which is the 3rd week of March. So all puts all the way here. I'm gonna be buying some put credit spreads on this one in particular. Right. So that's 4 minutes and 40 seconds on all 4 of these. Now we're gonna look at the stocks in which we chose. Right. We're gonna look. So we'll take a look at Sony too. Even though that's not my favorite one, we'll look at MP. And the 4th one was MP Sony. What was the 4th one? MP Sony's GNPR. I have GNPR. Oh, GM. GM. Right. Okay. We're just gonna focus on those 3. And Dove, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I forgot to put Dove in here. We'll look at Dove last, right? So let's look at all 4 of these, giving them 1 minute a piece. 1 minute for transition. Okay. Boom. Love this one, right? I wish it was at 45.79, which is the mean. But the fact that it's right above it, it tells us a lot. It tells us that it has a lot of strength, right? You guys see that there's a buy signal right here, right? Boom. This was the B stands for buy, S stands for sell. Buy signal came here on Thursday, right? And this would have been a good opportunity to get in if it looks like it, right? Would have been a good opportunity to buy here into the next day, right? Either way, we like it right here. Buying it on Tuesday is definitely going to be a great trade. As you can see, the stochastics pivoted, is hinging up. So that's definitely a good sign. So this is going to be a great trade. Hopefully it's not too high up on Monday. So MP, a good one for that. We like that one. Let's look at General Motors. A little bit skeptical about General Motors. I know it has earnings coming up. The fact that it's been trending down is really great. We like to see that. It has earnings, right? I forget when it has earnings, but if I was buying this one, I would be buying close to $60.50, and I would be buying all the way to earnings. It has earnings on the 1st of Feb, so we do like this one. We like this one. We'll put it on our spreadsheet. Matter of fact, we'll get this one all the way to the 1st of Feb on this one in particular, right? It traded downward. I think it's ready for a pop, especially going into earnings. I think it's going to do well for earnings. GNPR, Juniper Networks Incorporated. Let's see there. That is the monthly chart. Let's look at the daily chart on this one. Boom. comes down. Really like this chart, right? Consolidates around the 21, pull goes up, kisses 21, goes up, kisses 21, goes up. And it seems like we're seeing the same thing here, right? Where it's really hugging the 21 EMA of the mean. And especially it has earnings on a 27. But what I don't like though is the fact that the stochastics, right, is wrenching down. You guys can see here, look, it's going down, right? So I'll be very leery of this one in particular, right? And what I mean by that is that uh, if it goes below the mean, $34.40 or 46 cents or 50 cents, I'll be buying puts on that, right? I'll be getting out the trade for that one. I do like the fact that it has some green bullish volume on Friday, right? And the fact that it has earnings on a 27, that could be a little pop or whatnot, but I'd be very careful for this one in particular. We're gonna put in a trade, but of course, if it trades below $34.50, we're gonna get out that trade easily, right? So that would be our stop. Our stop would be like $33 on this one, $33.80, $1 down. It looks like it wants to go a little bit lower. Okay, let's look at Sony on the left-hand side here. So I mentioned that Sony hasn't made up its mind whether it wants to go up or down, right? But I do love Sony, the fact that it closed right there at the mean. That's perfect. If it trades above 125, I love to buy it all the way to earnings. And earnings is the 2nd of Feb, right? I just like to hold it, doing some call debit spreads on this one in particular, and then of course getting rid of it like as soon as we see profits, right? Our whole goal is to be profitable and be consistent, right? So we'll just buy all the way to Feb, but of course, so we have a lot of wiggle room, so this thing can mature and it can do well. So when I look at the stochastics here, right? Boom, right? It's flattening right here. So we'll see what it does Tuesday. It looks like it wants to go up, but you know, we'll be paying attention to what exactly does it do, right? It looks like it wants to go up, but don't know yet, right? We'll see what it does, and then we'll trade it accordingly right here, right? And also we got a buy signal here in this particular stock, that's a great sign, right? We got a buy here. B stands for buy. Got a buy signal, so this may be a good trade, and we're going to keep this one. We're going to put Sony on a list as well, right? The last one that we had was DOV. Dove. Everything about Dove says no. Says sell, sell, sell. Right. First thing you see here, you got a sell signal here for Dove. Right. That's a good sign for selling, right? For puts, right? Even when we look at the candle here, you know, it closed at a hammer, right? But at the same time, it's a bearish hammer, and we see that the volume here. When we look at the volume, right? Selling, 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 right? So I look forward to see what exactly we get on Tuesday. If we get a green candle here, I will be, and it trades a little bit higher. I would like for it to fill this gap of 180, right? But everything about it so far is telling me that it's going to go down eventually in the next few weeks to come or whatnot, and then finally possibly pop at the end of the month for earnings. But we'll see what happens. If it goes below 178.16, we'll be buying puts, and we'll just watch this one in particular. But puts would be the ideal trade for this one, just because of the trajectory. Look at that, boom, right? Only thing we're seeing here is downside. No pivots whatsoever. No pivots like these. No sharp corners whatsoever. So that tells me that this has more downside, but we'll see what it does on Tuesday. Okay. So that's all the stocks there that we looked at. That's 12 minutes and 15 seconds. We'll stop the clock there. We had about 4, 8, 9, 10 of them total. So hopefully that was helpful. I don't want to waste too much of you guys' time. But now I want to take a look at the chart here, right? So if you see green here, like dark green, right, for our YS stocks and options planning tool, So we got Sony here. We said we're going to buy Sony at the mean, right? We know that. It's around 125, right? Price target is going to be 1 ATR. Got to decide which strategy we're going to use for Sony. GNPR, we're also going to buy here at the mean, right? If it goes below the mean, we definitely won't buy anything. No calls, that is. We might buy some puts, but right now we have projected to buy some calls for the 28th, right? So we're also going to say we're going to buy some calls here for Sony as well, right? For this one, we're going to do probably Fed because it has earnings. So let's think about 4 Fed, right? Just to see the earnings play. The other one that we talked about, we say GM, right? Like GM, right? We're going to use the WISE strat, buy the mean, right? And I think the mean on this one in particular, well, we're going to buy the mean, right? We already talked about that. Whatever the mean is, that's what we're buying at, right? Format here, currency. So, okay, let's recap. Sony, right? We're going to buy $125 for Sony. We got JNPR, we're going to buy 34.50, which is the mean, right? Profits at 1 ATR, profits 1 ATR for both of these. MP, we're going to buy 46.50, which is the mean, right? Only for trades above, all these above. GM, it's another one, right? We're going to trade this one, we're going to buy this one, all the way to it reports earnings, right? At the mean as well. And the mean for this one in particular was what? Take a look. We'll buy at $60.50 to $61, right? $61.50. We'll buy there, right? That's our range for this one in particular. We say Dove. Say we'll buy puts on Dove, right? GM. Do we have GM here already? Yeah, GM for Fed, right? Fed. We're going to use the same strategy. Say for Dove, buying DOV. We'll be watching it for 178, 178.50. All right, 170. Let's see. Yeah, 178.21. Right. We'll set an alert here for this one in particular. Right. If it goes down, if it goes crossing down, right? Set an alert for this one. Right. But really looking into buying some puts on this one in particular. Dove, buy some puts, 28th. Not sure on which one we're buying yet. We'll do that whenever we cross that bridge. So we got those two. All right. Tuesday, we're going to finalize exactly what we buy, right? Right now, we're just, having a plan on, we're establishing a plan as far as what are we looking for? 178.20. I'm going to say 178.20. $178. So anything below the mean, we're going to be looking to sell that, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got 5, right? We got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, we got 5. So these are the 5 that we looked into. We're gonna get into all of them. Again, this is just a tool, right? Doesn't mean that, hey, we have to get into each and every one of these plays that we have identified. It just means that we have a plan, right? So far, right? And once we see what the market does, we're going to execute that plan, right? And the plan is all depending on what exactly the stock does, the ticker does. As you can see, I have other strategies here for that I use as well for trading. But this one in particular, this is what we're doing. We're getting after the green ones, right? All the green was used in the wise fib strategy. I got bullish continuation strategy. I got bearish sentiment. Unusual options activity is another thing that I like to trade as well. We got that one. But for the purpose of this small account to large account, these are the ones that we're going to be trading, right? And hopefully this was helpful, guys. Let me know your thoughts. I always say, always practice logic over emotions. And most importantly, I'll see you guys at the finish line. Peace and be blessed.